Hi there, my beautiful gardening friends. Welcome back to 3 Barrow Farm. I hope you are all very well. For those of you who are new here, my name is Amy and I live off-grid with my family of 5 on 42 acres of land in central Victoria, Australia. And we try to grow as much food as we can while living lightly on this earth. We raise our own lamb from the sheep that we farm on our property, and we get eggs from our chickens, and then I grow the majority of our fruit and vegetables in this 2-acre garden we have in our house area. So I grow our vegetables in approximately a 200 meters squared space. I'm about to expand on that eventually later this year, which is really exciting. I haven't planted as much as I normally would in autumn, and this is because I'm having some restrictions in my body at the moment. If you want to understand or hear a little bit more about that, you can check out this video that I filmed a while ago explaining where I'm at. So something amazing that happened this week is that I hit over 10,000 subscribers. I'm so very grateful for each and every one of you for choosing to be here in this space and share in the community that we are building here. I hope that by choosing to be here in this space, you feel relaxed and you learn some things and you feel inspired to move your body and grow some of your food to use in your daily meals. So I wanted to take a moment to mark this milestone. I've been steadily making videos for 2 years now, and I really started pushing it probably a year and a half ago and did them regularly. So I tried to make sure that I had a video coming out, at least one video a week, and I've sort of expanded a bit from there. I usually have 2 videos a week, and now I have membership as well. So I have some other videos coming out fortnightly and some shorts as well for my members. So I think I've found my groove with this space, and I'm so excited whenever one of you comments and you're saying that you're just starting your garden and you've found the information really, really useful, and also that my guides have been so very useful for you in your situation, in your gardening zone, particularly because there doesn't seem to be a lot of content out there in our particular gardening zone. And this is a big push as to why I started this channel, because I could not find anyone similar to our area here in central Victoria. There are now quite a few channels in this area, or at least there are a few gardeners in this area on other social media platforms as well. So we are seeing more people gardening in this space, but I'm just really pleased that you're all finding my channel quite useful and you're enjoying my videos. The world is such a large place, and even just Australia is so big and it's so diverse as well. So to have so many people commenting also from different parts of Australia, and then other people finding those comments in those similar areas of Australia and communicating. And I love seeing when you're all helping each other in the comments. It really does warm my heart to see us all helping each other and trying to do better. So to celebrate this 10,000 subscribers, which is now actually at 11,000, which is amazing. And it is also my birthday today. The 17th of May is my birthday. So I wanted to celebrate by doing a little giveaway. So I've put together a collection of seeds that I've saved from my garden over the last year. So I've got broad beans, I've got false Queen Anne's lace, I've got 2 different cos lettuces. I've got red cos lettuce and the green. I've got white scabiosa, so we've got some flowers in here among the veggies. Marigolds. I've got purple hollyhocks, Russian mammoth sunflowers. These are the sunflowers that you see in all of my videos throughout spring and summer that are just absolutely glorious in my garden. And I've also got some parsley that I picked just recently off my summer plants. So I've got these glorious seeds in the giveaway that I've packaged up nicely, and I have this dry hand and foot balm that I make myself. This is the good stuff. This is amazing for bringing back the moisture in your gardener's hands. And I really do want to relabel this eventually. And I'm hoping to do a proper professional labeling of my balms and that. But this is real pure gold. So these are the things I'm offering to give away to one of you out there. Now, I am very aware of Tasmania and Western Australia having limitations on seeds that you can send there. So I will be looking at that. And if I do choose someone that ends up being in those areas, we will reassess. I will make sure that it's safe to send wherever I'm sending it. And if I need to change things a little bit, then I will choose a second person, and hopefully the second person lives in Victoria or New South Wales or somewhere where I can send these seeds. So to be in the running to win this giveaway, you will need to like my video, this video here, and comment in the comments section of this video. Tell me what you're doing in your garden at the moment. Are you planting anything? Are you getting ready to just buckle down and have a bit of a rest through winter? What are you harvesting from your garden? Basically anything. Just comment in the comment section and you'll be in the running. You can also share my video or any of my videos that you like. You can share those and you will get an extra entry into the giveaway. If you can, remember to sign your name if you're okay with doing that. I'd love that. Often I'm not sure what your name is out there when you're commenting because, our handles don't generally have our names in them these days. So to put your name there in the comments also would be fantastic. Okay, so now that we have covered all of that and we have gloried in the fact that there are over 10,000 of us here supporting each other in our gardening and gratefully supporting me in my channel here and enabling me to have a little bit of an income as well while I'm unable to work. Let's go and have a little tour of my garden. Okay, so I say a little walk-through tour of my garden because it does get really tiring for me at the moment holding this big camera of mine. But let's delve in and have a little look. Let's start in this veggie garden. So this is vegetable garden number 2. This is what I call it. Number 1 used to live over here, but number 1 is undergoing some refurbishments that were supposed to have been done in spring and summer, but things turned quite drastically to focusing on other things. And so this is Veg Patch 2. And then we will move over to Vegetable Garden 3, which is quite glorious over there. Okay, so we're starting in the most weedy, grassy space of my garden. I am currently working through this section and weeding and transplanting. So I've been transplanting the sweet peas because I had a lot of sweet peas sitting in this pathway here. And I've been pulling out a lot of the dandelions because there's only so much dandelion you really do need. So there's a patch here, a really good patch of dandelion here, and the rest I'm using as mulch in my pathway. So I'm just slowly moving through here, and amazingly, we still have a few sweet pea flowers. Look at them. And they still smell so amazing. I also just noticed that there are some aphids on this fennel that's going to seed. And the ladybirds are loving eating all the aphids on it. So I'm inclined to leave this plant here, but we shall see Okay, I've got my gorgeous yarrow flowering again after I gave it a big chop back. So it's out with its beautiful white flowers once again. I've got a pumpkin over here. This pumpkin has been, I don't know, something's happened to it. It grew a bit funny. It's got a split in it right there. And I didn't notice this pumpkin in that video that I recently did. For some reason, it was here. Don't know why I didn't see it. I've got my kale growing very crazily. So this will eventually go to seed. Maybe at the end of winter, it'll start going to seed because it's been 2 years now, or will have been 2 years that it's been in the garden. I've got all these mulleins coming up everywhere, and no wonder, because all the seed is falling down from these glorious mullein plants here. Let's walk through all these dandelions. I'm going to come through here and clean up these sunflower stems. So there's quite a bit of work to do in here. Here's the last of the tomatoes, so I haven't pulled these ones out just yet. And there's my glorious broad bean plant. And the bees have been loving this borage plant. They have been buzzing all over. Borage is fantastic to have in your garden for the bees, and you can also eat the flowers and the young leaves. So I'm just working through this area too, just doing a bit of weeding in the front here. I've got a lot of poppies coming up, so all these poppies, and I've got coriander. I've also got coriander that's going to seed, so that's quite interesting. I've got leek that's also going to seed, and leeks that are all ready to harvest in this section here. So I do have to do a bit of a harvest there. Another glorious mullein plant. The bees also love these flowers. Kale galore, because I had one kale that went to seed and just ended up with a massive amount of kale. And then I've got sorrel here, which needs to be sort of cut back a bit and let the new leaves come through. And there's another sorrel there. I've still got some pumpkins in my garden, which I'm thinking I will harvest very soon. I mean, there's a lot happening in this garden, but there's also not much happening in the way of winter veg. There's, of course, the huge amounts of kale coming up that really do need to be transplanted, because some of them are getting very close to the edge of the garden. And then look at this kale here. This new growth is just looking amazing. And look at that dew still sitting on the leaves. Just beautiful. So much food still to be had on such an old plant. Okay, we're now at Vegetable Garden 3. It's got more stuff happening. It's more productive, this garden, but there are still some areas of the garden, particularly further down this way, that need work. I dug up my dahlias and I have separated them, and I've put some sugarcane mulch on top. But what I want to do is get some straw and put some big biscuits of straw on top. This usually helps them from the frost, because the tubers will be affected by the frost and they'll just go mushy. So I want to be protecting them from the frosts that we get. And now we're coming into this glorious area of so much green, so much growth. So I have chickweed, I've got some poppies, and I've also got some potatoes. But what I've deliberately planted here are cauliflowers and broccolis and beetroots as well. And then I've got my garlic through the center of this row. And what I'll do is I'll come and I'll take away these older leaves, the bigger ones, and that makes room for the sun to go onto the garlic through here. And I'll come and I'll harvest the chickweed and use that in salads, and also give it to my chickens. They love it. So I'm really excited to go around to the other side because the cauliflowers are still growing, but the beetroots are starting to show some development. So I shall take you around. And also this kale is just amazing. The growth that has occurred in just like 1 week in this patch right here is quite spectacular. Okay, here we go. There's one broccoli head forming just here. And here's another one. Glorious. And here's another one. Look at that. So exciting. I've actually got broccoli in my freezer, so I need to use that up before I harvest these. All right, here we have a carpet of millions of calendulas and some corianders, some very, very nice looking coriander plants. And I have got some cabbages forming here, some very sort of bug-eaten cabbages. But these are quite healthy despite them having a bit of damage earlier on. They're actually doing quite well. Got my lovely thyme. The thyme is actually looking really, really beautiful, and I could do with some more thyme in my pantry, so I might do a harvest of this and dry it, but I have been using it fresh, which is really lovely to be doing it this time of year. These ones were hit a lot more by the bugs, and I've done a bit of an adjustment of the soil, hoping that eventually they might improve, but it does take a while for the adjustments to take place. Then I've got some Brussels sprouts here. These ones I put in quite late, and they were a punnet that we purchased, or my husband purchased for me. I'm not sure how well they're going to do because they look very leggy, very, very thin for this stage of the growing of the winter sort of cold season. Then I've got this carpet of endive, which I've just been harvesting from every day and eating from it. And then we come to a massive patch of garlic. So I planted all of this garlic together, and then next to it I have some daffodils and jonquils coming up in this section. And you can tell the difference. The leaves are very different to garlic. And there's also lots of weeding to do in here. I've got poppies coming up as well, and also evening primrose. So I need to get weeding this section from all of the things that are coming up from seed. And then this section here I haven't planted out. This has all come from seed, all the kale growing beautifully. Another borage plant. And this is the overgrown part. All of these plants here I'm going to move to our front garden eventually. And then I've got this mass of parsley here, which is just amazing. And I've got pumpkins still in this section here as well, and calendula and oregano and the eggplants. The eggplants that are still here from that last frost that we had. So I need to pull these plants out. And then I've got a red mustard plant up here going to seed. I haven't planted this in my garden ever since I planted the first lot. So they just go to seed and they just keep going to seed and coming back and going to seed. But these leaves, when they're young, you eat them and they are quite peppery. And here is my massive comfrey patch, which is doing quite well for this time of year. Usually it dies off with that first frost, but it's actually come back to life because of this beautiful weather we've been having. And over here, there's a newer plant that I transplanted from over there. So these young leaves could be harvested to use their goodness in some balms. But I already have a huge amount that I harvested from in springtime. So I've got those infusing in some oil to make some more of my comfrey balm. Well, friends, that was a little glimpse at my garden and what's happening right now in May. I hope you are all really enjoying this weather. I know by the time this video comes out, it will be my birthday and it'll be raining. It's set to rain on Sunday, which is the day that this video comes out. So I hope you have enjoyed this glorious weather that we have been having. And let's hope that the sunshine continues. I know that we get quite lovely sunny winters here up in central Victoria, up over the Great Dividing Range. Once you pass that Macedon area, it's really beautiful and sunny, but it does get cold. It gets really cold and we have a lot of frosts here. But the one good thing about a frost is usually when it frosts, it's beautiful and sunny and blue skies during the day, albeit very cold, and you've got all of your layers on, including your thermals, because it's really cold. So head down to the comments and leave me a comment and you'll be in the draw to receive these seeds and the hand balm that I make that just works so beautifully. It's a great barrier cream as well. You can put it on before you come out into the garden or before you do the dishes or something like that that's very drying for our hands. I have got some more up in my shop too, and I will try to keep replenishing my stores of the cream throughout the winter time. All right, I need to take this kale inside and put it in some water, and I will be using this kale for lunch. Oh, both my girls are coming to say hi. So thank you for sharing in this glorious milestone with me. I'm so thrilled that 10,000 of you are choosing to be here, and it's so lovely to know that you're enjoying my videos. I hope that you have a glorious week ahead, and I will see you again in my next video. Should we go and sunbake? Listen to all those birdies. Can you hear all the birds? They're having a... and then they're off. I might just curl up and have a little sleep in the sun.